You know, to think that we almost lost the house, it's still kind of hard to think about.
Legal counsel for the elderly helped save our home.
The good news is we got the law changed.
We make a real difference in their lives.
She helped me a lot. I know what for her, I know what I would do, to tell you the truth.
Without legal counsel, I don't know that we could have made out. I don't know that we could have stayed in the house without them.
For the last 4 decades, Legal Counsel for the Elderly has helped change D.C. senior lives in so many ways. We've helped stop home foreclosures and evictions, preserved and promoted affordable housing, represented seniors victimized by scams and predators. We've produced wills, powers of attorney, advanced health directives, and protected the rights of residents in nursing homes, assisted living facilities, community resident facilities, and those needing home health care services.
Our mission is to champion the dignity and rights of Washington, D.C.'s elderly by providing free legal services to those most in need, empowering and defending and protecting vulnerable seniors.
Virginia Mack was about to lose her family home. LCE services helped prevent that.
We didn't have a lawyer, we couldn't pay for a lawyer. If we had lost the house, we would have had to find somewhere else to basically live. We didn't have anywhere else to go. Once we realized that we were able to keep it, it was a blessing. It was like a weight lifted off of my heart, my head. We would have been homeless.
LCE worked closely with our pro bono partner, Zuckerman Spader, to help Mrs. Mack.
There is a whole raft of mortgage fraud scam artists who are waiting to find people like Miss Mack who have fallen behind in their mortgage and are also not familiar with the law or what their rights are. Carrie, why don't you have a seat? And you can only imagine what the consequence to her would be if she were not able to live in her home and her daughter has no place to provide for her. She'd wind up in a homeless shelter. You can expect her life expectancy to be dramatically reduced. I can help somebody and make a big difference in their life, and that's part of what the legal business is really about.
2 sisters, 98 and 103 years old, faced a 400% rent increase and eviction for non-payment of rent.
To displace her would be detrimental. Because of her longevity in the neighborhood, everybody knows her. Her routine, she gets up in the mornings and attends daily mass and come back and, you know, make a stop at the store if she needs to, fix her breakfast and just go about her everyday needs on her own.
LCE convinced the landlord to make significant repairs, withdraw the rent hike, and dismiss the eviction.
I'm grateful for legal counsel for the elderly because they help and, you know, helped her be able to stay within her comfort zone and in the place she's known that she called home.
When nursing home, community resident facilities, assisted living, and home health care clients need an advocate, LCE is there. Our long-term care ombudsman program makes sure they have a voice.
With the help of legal counsel for the elderly through the Ombudsman program, I was able to bring about some changes that improve the quality of life for the assisted living residents. Having a source that you can rely on that's in your corner, that advocates for me, means a lot.
We met a gentleman who had been in the nursing home for 12 years. And last year, he was successful in returning to the community to his own apartment. He was so happy, I mean, almost to tears at one point. He was a little afraid, and he told us, he said, you know, it's been a long time. He says, I'm not sure how well this is gonna work, but he had some great supports in the community, and of course, our ombudsman included in that list of supports, and he's doing well in his own home.
One way that legal counsel for the elderly is unique is that they provide services for free. So many elderly people need legal assistance and can't afford it. I just find it as legal counsel for the elderly invaluable.
LCE's Senior Medicare Patrol, or SMP, helps Medicare and Medicaid beneficiaries detect, prevent, and report Medicare fraud and identity theft. SMP staff and volunteers work one-on-one with beneficiaries, give group presentations, and represent LCE at local events.
Most every project of Legal Counsel for the Elderly has a volunteer component. The volunteers, whether they are attorneys taking pro bono cases or paralegals who we specifically trained and work alongside case handlers, or whether they work in terms of outreach and community involvement, volunteers are an integral part of much of Legal Counsel for the Elderly's work.
83-year-old Martha Ford Gladden is a former research chemist and one of our extraordinary volunteers.
Ms. Brown, I'm calling you from Legal Counsel for the Elderly.
She's generously donated her time and heart to LCE for the past quarter century.
It's just my joy so much doing what it is that I can do to help out.
Our peers have honored us with awards for the help we offer DC seniors, including one in 2014 we're particularly proud of.
Well, we received the award called the Potter Stewart Award, named after the late Supreme Court Justice. It was awarded by the Council for Court Excellence for our various advocacy efforts in Washington, D.C.
As for LCE's major accomplishments,
well, there are many, but some of them are the first organized pro bono program in the country, by which many other programs were modeled to set up programs for attorneys in private practice to volunteer their time. Second is the notion of a legal hotline, providing advice to people over the phone without their having to come in. Third, I think, is our ability to reach out to those people who have difficulty reaching us, either because of language problems or they are homebound and so we have to send attorneys to their home, or otherwise have some disability that prevents them from coming to our offices to receive the services.
Our outstanding board and advisory committee will see LCE into the future.
The services that LCE provides is invaluable because these are people who normally would really struggle to find a lawyer, to pay for a lawyer, and really just to know where to go to find help. And LCE is the perfect place.
Melvin Phillips fell behind in his property tax payments. He faced losing his home and all its equity because he couldn't afford $8,000 in back taxes.
This is the homestead. It's been like almost 60 years with. It means a great deal, you know. And you'd hate to see something happen to it, which almost did. But to think that we almost lost the house, it's still kind of hard to think about.
LCE developed a strategy that allowed Mr. Phillips to pay the back taxes and keep his home.
Until recently, what would happen if someone got behind on their real property taxes is that the lien would be sold at a public auction and then that lien would be foreclosed on. Once this happened to you, to save your home, you had to pay back your taxes and also the purchaser's attorney's fees. So like a $400 tax bill turned into a $400 tax bill plus $6,000 or $7,000 in attorney's fees. So people weren't able to save their homes, and then when they lost their homes, they also lost all the equity. It was the subject of a series of Washington Post articles, and we've reformed the law since then. The good news is we got the law changed.
Whether we're helping change laws or advocating for the elderly, LCE will continue its mission to protect DC's most vulnerable seniors.
Henry Thoreau once said, "It's not good enough to be good, you got to be good for something."